Well, the other day, it sounded for a moment like we were on the brink of World War III. Iran, everyone said, was planning to launch a massive attack on Israel. It's almost as if they had telegraphed the exact time and day of their attack. And when I say World War III, well, that's because there were a lot of countries involved in the battle. Iran and its allies, the Yemeni Houthis, Hezbollah, and on the Israeli side, the United States and reportedly the United Kingdom, France, Jordan, and Saudi Arabia. I think that is a kind of world war, but it ended as soon as it began, over in hours. A shock and awe attack where allegedly 99% of the rockets were intercepted. Well, Israel responded the other day in the same sort of manner, very noisy, but did it do any damage? What is this all about? Is this play fighting? Is it what is going on? Is this all orchestrated for public consumption? What is the state of bellicosity between these two countries? And what is America's role? That's what I find most confusing. Remember that Joe Biden, when he was vice president under Barack Obama, was a leader in normalizing Iran and funding Iran, lifting of sanctions on that country, including making it easier for them to develop their nuclear weapons. Joe Biden has done that again as president, releasing tens of billions of dollars to that country. You could say America was funding both sides of that battle. Well, that's my amateur point of view from my perch here in Canada. But what about someone who has spent his life studying the region? In fact, who runs a think tank called the Middle East Forum, who himself has lived in the region for years and has traveled widely. I'm talking about our friend Daniel Pipes, the president of the Middle East Forum. He joins us now via Skype. Dr. Pipes, great to see you again. Thanks for coming back on the show.
Thanks for inviting me.
I don't know what's going on over there. I thought that the armed direct battle between Iran and Israel would be a sort of a final showdown. Those two countries have been staring at each other literally for decades, not just because the Ayatollahs are exporting terrorism, but because Iran has a nuclear program which is so evidently aimed at Israel. What is the state of affairs there? I don't know what's going on, and I don't want to yield to online conspiracy theories, but it looks strange to me.
No, I don't think there are conspiracies going on. I think the key factors are, one, that the Iranian military is quite weak. Strikingly, amazingly even, the Iranians have not managed to buy modern military aircraft since the revolution, and they're still using American purchased planes from the 1960s and 70s. I don't know why the Russians, Chinese, and others haven't supplied them, but they haven't. So the Iranians are weak from that point of view. They don't have much of a navy. They don't have much of an air force. They can't really take on Israel. That's point one. Point two is that the U.S. policy, as you suggested, is deeply conflicted. Look at the person of Joe Biden. He has a relationship with Israel that goes back half a century. He proudly mentions that he met Golda Meir something like 50 years ago. And he keeps saying that he has Israel's back and ironclad commitments and so forth. At the same time, as you pointed out, President Obama and now Biden have a great interest in luring the Iranians back into the so-called family of nations. They have a belief that if you treat the Iranians nicely, if you offer them money, don't take a hostile stance, you can bring them back. So I think these are the two key factors, and the complications derive from them.
Well, I think everyone knows that Iran, while I agree with you, its conventional army is not strong, it is the master of asymmetrical warfare. It funds terrorist groups, Hamas in the Gaza Strip, Hezbollah in Lebanon, and it seems to be quite successful in the drone industry. In fact, I think Iranian drones are actively used in the Russia-Ukraine conflict. So Iran, while has avoided direct conflict with Israel, preferring the economic and political benefits of asymmetrical warfare. That is, some plausible deniability. The rockets weren't launched from Iran themselves, they could say. And if there was a battlefield loss, it wouldn't be on Iranian soil. That changed last week when Iran launched rockets and missiles directly. What's next? Why didn't Israel attempt to take out Iran's nuclear project? I'm just trying to understand, is it over? Are they play fighting? I don't understand how
Not play fighting. No.
Tell me more about it. I'm
I don't
trying
know
to
if it's
figure it
over.
out.
I'm not sure if it's over or not, but for the moment it is over. Who knows? There might be another act of retaliation ahead of us. But right now, the Israelis would, I believe, dearly love to attack the Iranian nuclear infrastructure. And there are many, myself included, who wish they had. But the pressure from the United States and other friendly countries on Israel was intense. Don't do anything too provocative. Do something more or less symbolic. Let's close this thing down. And what's so striking is that the attack yesterday is not acknowledged by Israel and is not acknowledged by Iran. So everybody wants to close it down, or at least the allies of Israel want to close it down, and the Israelis are going along with it. I suspect the Israelis have come to the conclusion that it is a better deal to go along with their allies and to put pressure on them, to hold over them the threat of attacking Iranian nuclear infrastructure, to get them to take more, to get the allies to take more aggressive steps. And the allies have promised to take steps, which they have done already, some of. And the Israelis still can attack the nuclear infrastructure at will. But it'll be expensive in terms of their diplomacy, in terms of their support, in terms of their getting arms from the United States and other Western countries. So the Israelis have concluded, Benjamin Netanyahu has concluded that this is the better course to follow now. He has internal pressure to do more. Many Israelis want more, but he concluded that better to go along with President Biden and not cause any rupture in the U.S.-Israel relationship.